Welcome to Cultura Shock. Today on the show, we have Emmy and Tony-nominated director, producer, writing, and an all-around amazing good guy. He's been telling Latino stories his entire career across television. Welcome to the show, Ben DeJesus. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excited to have you on here.
Absolutely. You two actually know each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
We worked together on a project for a liquor company.
Yeah,
we went to your house. We went to your
yeah.
house and shot you doing your thing. It was amazing.
Yeah,
It was great.
It was great. Yeah, we did a little branded project, and he was an amazing director, and he's been doing amazing things not just ever since you've been doing it before. I also didn't know this, but when I was researching that you were coming on the show and researching everything, I didn't know that you had started on MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. I was a baby. First of all, I was an intern at MTV way back in the day. And then I became a PA, and then I worked my way up the ladder. And before I knew it, we were on this show. I was associate producer. It was called Rock Cribs back in the day.
Yeah.
This is going back 20 years. Yeah, exactly. But no, it was amazing. I was one of the original producers. I was like, wow. Now looking back then it didn't seem so big. It seems to have gotten bigger since then.
Yeah.
Iconic.
It's iconic. It was iconic for a lot of the people that generation. That was a big, big show. But I mean, were all of the rock star cribs, were all the cribs that they go to, were they like really their cribs, or were they renting them out? Or what's the?
Yeah, you know what it was? It's weird because I went on Reddit, and every once in a while they'll be like, those were all fake. And I'm like, no, they actually were real. Like when we went to Redman's house, if you know that episode, that's like a classic. We showed up at his house in Staten Island. He was asleep. His cousin was asleep on the floor. The doorbell didn't work. It was real.
Wow.
I think later, after I was gone, people probably started renting cribs and doing it. But in the beginning, we couldn't even get anybody to let us in.
Wow.
So,
But you did a lot. There was some huge people who did it. So
in the beginning, we did it wasn't even the Osbournes family. It was Ozzy Osbourne, which made no sense on MTV at the time. But his kids were like 10 years old and 12 years old. They were hilarious.
I remember that episode.
And then all of a sudden, the next day, his manager, who was Sharon Osbourne, was like, called my boss, Nina Diaz, and was like, I got an idea for a show. And that became the Osbournes. But those kids were just like kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about your latest project with John Leguizamo.
Yeah, well, we just finished doing American Historia, the untold history of Latinos for PBS and Latino Public Broadcasting. That one we did like 3,000 years of Latino history, like going back to the Olmecs, the Taínos, the Mexica. And then now we just launched our season 2 of a show called Leguizamo Does America, where we travel around the country and we celebrate Latino culture and food, activism, music, artists, sports, the whole thing.
And I had an exhibit in San Antonio, and he was there with John Leguizamo. He sent me a picture of it, and it was like, it made my day. I was so happy. You have no idea how I just smiled from ear to ear on this stuff. But what other places did you visit in this new season of John Leguizamo Does America?
We did Phoenix, we did Raleigh, we did Philadelphia, we did New Orleans, which was amazing, San Antonio, and then Denver.
Yeah, I love New Orleans.
Yeah, me too.
I love New Orleans.
Yeah.
So you talked about Latinos in New Orleans?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I need to know.
Well, I mean, during like Hurricane Katrina, like Latinos were the ones who helped rebuild the entire city. And then all of a sudden they were promised like the opportunity to get citizenship, but then all of a sudden the blanket got pulled, the rug got pulled.
The promises.
But yeah, it's
Well,
beautiful.
listen, Ben, I'm very intrigued to know about your own culture shocks, maybe, in learning the history of Latinos in the United States, or even you went back to the indígenas, right?
Yeah.
Is there any factual information or something that really stuck out to you?
Well, I mean, like when you talk about like the Taínos, for example, and and even some of the other cultures in like Mexico, they were playing it was called the ball game. And they had found and discovered rubber before anybody else. Before Goodyear, Latinos were making rubber balls. And they would throw it into a hoop, and if you didn't get it in, you could get killed.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
It was life and death.
Right?
Yeah, it was life and death. But it's also like, that's the birth of if you really think about it, like ball sports, like whether it's football or basketball, especially because they had to throw it into a hoop. There was a million other things that we learned, like Latinos were there for like birth control. It was a Latino who helped invent birth control. We've been there like from the beginning of the Revolutionary War. Latinos fought in the Revolutionary War alongside George Washington.
Yeah, I mean, I remember for when the pandemic started, it was always thing about Latina had invented hand sanitizer.
Yep.
And so it's just all these things that Latinos are just not getting the credit for. And I think shows like the ones you're doing and the projects that you take on are helping shine a light on all these different things that people need to know about.
For sure. I think that the more we know about our culture, first of all, the more pride we have. But also, if the more people know about our culture, the more respect and kind of acknowledgement they give us. And I think it permeates into like the culture. We need that. We need to be known. We need to step up and take our credit.
Well, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you for joining us, and let's work together soon.
Yeah. Thank
awesome.
you.